Well, it's another offseason for the Rockies, and really nothing has changed year over year. This team has only gotten worse, and for 2026, I don't think that many changes are going to be happening. There's a couple guys that they're going to develop in their farm system, which is going to be really the highlight of their 2026 season, but I really don't think anything crazy is going to happen with this team. But before I give my prediction, let's just go right into the last 5 seasons of the Colorado Rockies. Obviously, 2025 was probably their worst season in franchise history. 43 and 119 is pretty terrible, and you can obviously see the trend has kind of continued with 2024, 23, 22. It just hasn't really been good for the Rockies. Once again, 4th season, they're last in their division, so I don't think anything's going to really change here. And once again, it was 2018 the last time this team made the postseason, so just keep that in mind as well. So let's go into the contract side of the Colorado Rockies. One thing to note is that Chris Bryant is still making $27 million for 3 more seasons, including 2026. So that's still a tough contract that's going to be eating the Rockies alive. And they have a couple players. Obviously, Tovar's on that massive contract that he did sign in 2024. Kyle Freeland's getting to the end of his contract. This could be his last year with the team, considering he does have that vesting option in 2027, so we'll see if he's able to hit those statistics. Same with Antonio Santella. Could be his last year. He's got a team option for 27, but this could also be his last year with the team. And then we have some mutual options that are currently being decided when I'm recording this video. I know Kyle Farmer, they denied that in mutual options, the Rockies, so he is going to be a free agent. For a trade, I don't really know. I haven't heard much about that yet, so we'll kind of wait and see on that. So they really only have 4 guys on contract. I pretty much think everyone else is going to be in arbitration, which is pretty crazy to think about also, that they're only paying 4 guys actual contracts, and then maybe if that mutual option gets extended with Atreya. The only other thing they're paying is they're still paying for that Nolan Arenado trade. This is the last year they have to pay for it. It's only $5 million, so they definitely got to keep that in account. So yeah, currently when I'm recording this video, the Rockies are only paying $66.7 million to their players so far. Obviously, there's a whole offseason to go, but I don't think too many things are going to get changed. A lot of their stuff's going to be done in arbitration. And in 2025, they spent $124 million on players. So that was the projected on how much they spent on players. So you never know if they go and sign a big free agent. I mean, they've done it before, but the last couple of seasons, it's probably not likely just because I don't know any player that wants to sign here, and they're the worst team in the league. So it's going to be pretty tough for them to convince free agents. I mean, I think a lot of their future is going to be through the pipeline though. So that's their contract situation. Nothing crazy over there. Why don't we go into the actual roster of this team that they have so far? Because a lot of these players are going to be on this team again, just with arbitration, how everything's working out. We can obviously see this rotation with Kyle Freeland and Chase Dolan are probably being the 2 best pieces that they have in their starting rotation. So those 2 guys are very exciting to have back on this team, and we'll see if Chase Dolan actually performs and has a really good season in 2026. I think that's going to be a pretty cool story to watch moving forward. And then with this bullpen, it pretty much got gutted with all the trades they made at the deadline. So their bullpen's not going to be looking the best as it was during that deadline. So there's might be some rebuilding here. Maybe you find a couple players that could be really shining stars. You just really don't know. And then we're going to move on down to the position players. Obviously, Hunter Goodman, the GOAT on this team, is the catcher. Probably one of their best players on this team, if I had to be all the way honest. So he definitely is going to start at catcher. First baseman, I think there's a lot of guys they could go with, to be honest. I feel like Warming's probably their number 1 guy, but we'll wait and see. If Atreya's mutual option gets extended, then I imagine he's going to play second base. We'll kind of see what happens. Obviously, Kyle Farmer is no longer on the team. And then it's going to be Kyle Karros or Warming at first and third on this squad. That's kind of something we've kind of seen. Obviously, Tovar is going to play short with that massive contract. This outfield is very interesting to me. I really do like some of the players they have in this outfield. I think Jordan Beck's got to play left field. Obviously, Brennan Doyle's definitely going to play center field. I would personally put Frendez probably in right field or at the DH spot, to be honest. You can definitely move a lot of these players around. It's going to happen throughout the season. But I definitely think Beck, Doyle, and Fernandez should probably start in that outfield. I think that core is just very solid. So that's the team on paper. Let's move to the top 100 now, because the Rockies have 2 guys in the top 100 that are going to be very good players. Starting off with number 19, which is going to be Ethan Holiday, who was obviously just drafted in the 2025 draft. And he only played 18 games at A-ball, which is actually pretty impressive because most draft picks don't play as soon as they get drafted. So he batted a .239 in these 18 games. He only had 17 hits. He did have 4 doubles and 2 home runs with 12 walks. He did have 33 strikeouts, which definitely seems kind of a lot for the at-bats he had. But not a horrible campaign for his first season. I mean, he's supposed to get to MLB in 2029, so he's got a lot of time to develop. And since he's so young, he's definitely got a lot of time to develop down there. So it's going to be pretty fun to watch. Coming in at number 61 is going to be Charlie Conda. Now, he's been in the minors for 2 seasons so far. He got to AA this season, so definitely slowly ranking his way up. He batted a 268 in 2025. Pretty good, especially because he had an OPS of 820, which is very solid. So he definitely had a pretty solid team with 16 doubles, 3 triples, 14 home runs, 58 RBIs, and 52 walks. So definitely had a pretty solid campaign, and he's supposed to be up next year. His ETA is 2026, so we'll see if he has a good spring training. Maybe he can start in AAA or something like that. We'll kind of wait and see where Charlie Condon's at. Those are only 2 guys in the top 100, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, these are their 2, most recent first-round draft picks. Obviously, Charlie Condon being drafted in 2024 first round, and then Ethan Holiday being drafted in 2025. So definitely some good players over there. Now let's go over to attendance. This is always something that we like to look at just to kind of see how the teams are doing by attendance. Looking at the attendance in total, the Rockies did okay. They were about 16th when it comes to attendance in 2025, having 2.4 million fans, which is pretty good. If we look at the year-over-year difference compared to 2024 attendance to 2025 attendance, they're actually 23rd in the league in the negatives, down like 100K. So not optimal if you look at it like that, but looking at the attendance as a whole with the league, they're actually pretty solid, I feel like. And this is usually a category they're normally good at, even though their team is not really that good. You can kind of see attendance reflected in the team performance most of the time, but there are some outliers like the Rockies. They average about 30,000 a game. They put a lot of work into Coors Field, and it's just a beautiful stadium as well. That's definitely why they're up this high, and they're not like the last team, right? So they usually kill attendance every single season, and pretty much the same thing this year. So now let's move over to the 2026 draft position the Rockies have. Now, what's interesting about this is they're actually ineligible for the draft lottery because they've had 2 top 6 picks before. 2024, 2025, 2 top 6 picks, so they're ineligible for that draft. So pretty sure they're going to pick 10th regardless of the lottery, because I'm pretty sure that's how it was last year for the White Sox and the Athletics, is they picked 10th and 11th. So I'm pretty sure the Rockies are going to pick 10th. Also, the Washington Nationals and LA Angels are also ineligible, so they're seated 11th and 12th right now, but who really knows? That could kind of change between those 3 teams. I'm not sure how that works, but I'm pretty sure the Rockies are somewhere through 10 and 12th for their first round pick. So not the best, but obviously, when you can't get out of that top 6 of, record, you're going to kind of struggle. So my overall prediction for the 2026 Rockies, I mean, it's not looking good, right? I mean, the team is the worst ever in their franchise history, almost the worst in MLB history. They're the lowest of lows right now, so the only place is up. That's what we like to say. Only place is up. The draft position's not the best, unfortunately. Attendance is still great for this team, which is good. The 2 players they have in the top 100 look phenomenal. The current roster and current contracts, not the best, right, with some of the players, and they obviously don't have that many guys signed. Everyone's pretty much in arbitration. So I feel like it's going to be a similar season to last year. I feel like, once again, if they can get out of that 100 win mark, it will probably be a good season for them, especially if they develop some really good talent in their pipeline moving forward. I don't think you're going to see anything crazy at the MLB level. You never know if there's some crazy stars. They obviously did do really well at the trade deadline last year, which I was very happy about. I think actually getting involved in the trade deadline is huge for some of these franchises, especially when they can't really sign big players or don't have the money to sign big players. So that was really cool from the Rockies to see in 2025. But we'll see where the Rockies are at in 2026. Let me know in the comment section down below, where do you guys see this team in 2026? Are there going to be any shining stars? Let me know in the comment section down below. And with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.